What's going on, everybody? This is Rodney Tate. I'm here with Justin Brooks, and this is episode 4 of
Politics with Partners.
I want to be free, but I want to be free.
Alright, so the election has ended. We want to say congratulations to the entire slate. We want to also extend kudos to all of you who got up and went out and voted. You are the difference makers. Believe me, you guys make the difference. Today on Politics with Partners, we have a pretty informative meeting today. We're introducing 2 new segments. The first one is going to be by Justin. Should we hold off before we tell him?
That's surprising.
That's surprising.
All
right. And then we have a housing section with me because that is what I'm most passionate about and most knowledgeable about. So if I have that special knowledge in that area, then it's only right that I share that knowledge with you guys, okay? So, to begin, we want to say congratulations to the new slate, which is as follows. New slate of candidates. County Mayor, congratulations, Mr. Lee Harris. SCS, this is Shelby County Sheriff, Mr. Floyd Bonner. Looking for big things from you, Mr. Bonner.
Also, appointed statement, the first African American sheriff voted in Shelby County. Yep.
Beautiful. We love it. All right. County Commissioners, 1 through 13 in order. Okay. County Commissioner number 1, Amber Mills. County Commissioner number 2, David Bradford. Number 3, Mike Wright. Number 4, Mark Billingsley. Number 5, Michael Whaley. Number 6, Willie Brooks. Is that Brooks?
Yep.
Sorry, Brooks. Willie Brooks. County Commissioner 6. County Commissioner number 7, Miss Tammy Sawyer. Number 8, Mikhail Lowry. Number 9, Edmund Ford Jr. Number 10, Reginald Milton. Number 11, Eddie Jones. 12, Van Turner. And last but not least, 13, Brandon Morrison. I want to give congratulations to all the county commissioners. Good job on a well-ran campaign. Now, as far as assessor of property, we got Melvin Burgess. County trustee is going to be R. Morrison Newman. Circuit Court Clerk, Tamika Gibson. Criminal Court Clerk, Heidi Kuhn. Juvenile Court Clerk, Janice Fullylove. Probate Court, Bill Morrison. County Clerk, Wanda Halbert. And Registrar of Deeds,
Shalandria Ford.
That's it, Shalandria Ford. No, I didn't want to butcher that first name. All right, congratulations to all of the court clerks and trustees and assessor of property. Congratulations. We look forward to big things from you guys. All right. Did you want to introduce the rest of?
Oh yeah.
Bring them on in there.
So, as my colleague said, we have just got done with the county votes. Thank you again for coming out and voting. We did make some history. We have 7 new county commissioners, along with a slew of new people in other positions, including now that we have a more democratically favored party across Shelby County government. So congratulations to that. We'll see what kind of change brings. We hope for good things. But moving forward, we have an important vote coming up in November. This will take care of the state, the representatives, the House representatives, the governor, and everybody else dealing up in Nashville that affects us down here in Memphis and across Tennessee. So strap yourself in. I'm going to tell you who your candidates are and who you should be preparing for the epic battles within a political party. So, starting with governor, we have Carl Dean, Democratic Party, going against Bill Lee within the Republicans. Senate, we have Phil Bredesen facing off against Marshall Blackburn. We also have House Rep 9, Steve Cohen going against Charlotte Bergman. Senate 29, Ramesh Akbar going against Tom Stephens. Senate 33, congratulations to Miss Katrina Robinson, holding down that seat alone with no competition. House Rep 83, Daniel Charbon against Mark White. We have House Rep 84, Joe Towns, holding it down solo as well. Congratulations to him. House Rep 86, very known, well-known politician down here in Memphis, Barbara Cooper, holding down that. House Rep 87, Karen Camper, holding that down. House Rep 88, Larry J. Miller, coming back strong for another term, as well as John J. Dewberry for House Rep 90. Now as we move on, we're going to get a little bit deeper. Congratulations and important announcements to one of our youngest House representatives within recent history, London Lamar, representing 91. House Rep 93, well-known gentleman himself and extravagant never there, G.A. Hardaway.
Mr. G.A. Hardaway.
That's
Always
it.
With the bow ties.
Always fresh.
Always.
Smooth. Moving on, House Rep 98, Antonio Parkinson, holding down his seat, no competition. And lastly, House Rep 99, we have David P. Cameron, Democrat, going against Ron Lillard, Republican. So, that's what you have to look forward to within these next cycle of voting within November. We'll give you more information as we go further in the episode. But other things that we have in mind, we actually have some new judges and 4 new Shelby County Schools commissioners. So, we'll start with District 1, where we had Michelle McKizak taking that seat away from Mr. Chris Caldwell. We have District 6, Ms. Shantae Avant coming back for her next term, as well as District 8, Billy Orville coming back for his term. But also another shakeup within District 9, you have Joyce Doris Coleman taking that seat from incumbent Mike Colonel. So we'll give you more information upon that later on. My brother, would you like to finish us off with our judges?
Sure. All right. So, judges, Circuit Court Judge, Division 7, Mary Wagner. Division 9, Division 10, Jennifer Johnson Mitchell, and Environment Court Judge, Division 14, Patrick Dandridge. We look forward to doing some really good work with Patrick here soon. We'll talk about it in my segment here in a little while, but I think that we're going to have some really good stuff come from him this term. I know it's a repeat term for him, but this time we do feel like there's going to be some really good statutes and things put in place to help with the blighted property in the city of Memphis. All right, now to segue on, we have talked about the voter turnout, and you know we feel that that is a very, very big deal. We don't feel that a small percentage of the population should determine who leads the entire population. So, thinking about that, we need to remember, if you want to vote, you must be registered. So, we are talking about November 6th already. It is a little bit away, but November it'll be here like that.
You got Halloween, and then you got Thanksgiving, and smack between that, you got November 6th.
That's it. November 6th you need to have that on your calendar as if it is a holiday, okay? If you have to take off work just to go and vote, but early voting is always a great option. But if you have to take off work to go vote, your bosses can't say anything to you.
They can't. Federal law allows you to have up to 3 hours to go vote. So if they say, oh, I'm sorry, you can't do that, you gotta say you gotta talk to the feds about it.
That's it. Nobody wants to talk to the feds. All right. So, register by October 9th. You must be registered by October 9th in order to vote November 6th, okay? We will have another episode of Politics with Partners on September 15th. So, on the 15th, we will be drilling this home because we'll be at the home stretch for getting you guys registered. I might even start carpooling some people to registration or something. We might put a little something together for that. But we do want you guys to know that that is very, very important, okay? Now, I think it's time to move on into one of our first segments of the day.
Hello, I'm Justin Brooks, and I'm here to talk to you about the education situation. Let's move forward, shall we? So, as we talked about earlier in this episode, we have 4 new SES board members. Wow, congratulations to them once again. But I want to dive in a little bit deeper because now we have 2 new individuals who have recently replaced 2 incumbents from the last election votes. So, let's start with District 1, Miss Michelle McKizak. For those who do not know, I'm going to give you a little bit more information about her. As we move further within this process, please make sure to look up your own information. I encourage you to go about and read upon this and make sure that you know your district representatives, okay? So, starting off with District 1, Ms. Michelle McKizzay is also the editor of Memphis Parent Magazine, along with serving on the board for Crosstown High. She's an inaugural member of the State Department of Education and Parenting Advisory Council, a graduate of White Station, and has 4 kids within SES herself. So let's give a great shout out to her. I hope she represents the downtown district very well, and let's give her as much support as we can to make sure that our kids are very good at taking care of them. As we talked about, we had 2 incumbents come back throughout the 4 within this race. Shantae Avant also coming back for District 6, and Billy Orgel returning back for District 8. However, in District 9, we had once again another shakeup. Ms. Joyce Doris Coleman replacing Mr. Mike Colonel within his position. Now, Ms. Joyce Doris Coleman has a history with the community. She's no stranger to parental involvement and making sure that parents have the tools needed to make sure their kids are succeeding. Along with that, though, and probably most notably within recent time, she served on the committee to successfully keep Dunbar Elementary School from closing. So let's give it up again for Ms. Joyce Doris Coleman. Want to make sure that she gets also supported within her new seat. And if you have any questions about these, please go and check it out on SES Board, Commercial Appeal, and my personal favorite, Chalkbeat, Tennessee. Moving forward, other news before I say my goodbye to you guys, and it has been a lovely time looking at your beautiful faces. Memphis and SES has shown growth on the state testing that is positive, so we're looking forward to our next year. I know we've had in the states and we've had situations within Memphis, Tennessee ready testing over the time being. However, we are seeing positive strides and gains. More will be coming upon that as we continue within our series of Politics with Partners. So make sure you tune into our next episode. However, along with that, schools are officially in session. As of August 6th, all schools were in session. That includes SES, traditional, public, private, and charter. So with that, you all, please encourage everybody to register your kids. If you're not already having them registered within school, please hurry up and make sure that they are along and make sure they're getting their education. The more time you wait out, the more disadvantage they may be having as students, because now you have to catch up on work and you're missing quality time, lessons, and instruction. Moving on from there, seniors, for you all you guys 12th grade coming in having senioritis, I know it feels good, but the hard work doesn't stop from there. Continue on. Start filling out your FAFSA and doing your college applications now. Don't wait on it, because if spring comes around and you start doing it then, it's a more likely chance that you missed out on a buku of government aid. So get the money while it's free. Go out, make sure that you have your options and your choices set up, and please start applying. But lastly, to end up my piece, I want to talk about briefly the ASD, our Achievement State District, which has a multitude of schools down here in Memphis, Tennessee, has a new leadership team in town, and they're looking to make a lot of changes and do a lot of great things. So we'll start off with our chief herself, Dr. Sharon Griffin, coming from SES herself and doing a great job and having a wonderful track record of doing positive things in the community and in education. Going along with her, Ms. Tanya Smith McBride, now serving as the Chief for School Improvement and Accountability. She was the former coach for iZone Principals within SES, and she continues to do a great job. She transitions into the ASD. Next up with her, Miss Lisa Seller, now the Chief of Operations of Culture and Climate within ASD. After her, Mr. Robert Wright, the Chief of Communications and External Affairs. And lastly, Ms. Aletha Henry, now the Lead Instructional Support Director within the Achievement State District. She has a history of doing great things within the educational landscape as well. In fact, serving 20 years within Memphis Legacy Schools and SES. So get to know your people, get to know your district, and get to know your representatives, and most importantly, make sure that we're taking care of these kids, because education is key.
What's happening, neighbor? This is Rodney Tate with Assured Real Estate Services, one half of the Politics with Partner team. And today in my segment here, we're going to talk about a few things. After the new election, we have a new judge in the environmental sector, right? And his job is to protect the environment, basically, right? But the big thing is that he has a big influence in housing because of the blighted property that we have in Memphis. This has been an issue for a while. and there are several organizations that are putting things together to try to fix it together. If you see blighted property, call 311 to report it so that the city will be aware and we can do something to rectify it. Oftentimes people do call code enforcement and you still don't see things happen. This is where Judge Dandridge will come into play. We have a thing called receivership, where it is impossible for a citizen or a nonprofit organization to come in and fix up those houses, cut the grass, fix the gutters, make it a safe place. So there is no nuisance of people squatting or crime. We know that abandoned homes and things like that do bring more crime and things like that, and homes that and also bring property values down. In order to avoid this, make sure that we are vigilant in our duties to protect our neighborhoods and their values by just reporting blighted properties, because in Memphis there are a ton of absentee investors who don't have the same incentives that we have in our neighborhoods to keep them up, right? Their whole thing about buying the property was to make money. Your whole thing about buying the property is to live there and raise your family and raise your kids, right? So because of this, Judge Dandridge has the power to appoint people as receivers, as well as address all blighted property and how us as citizens or as nonprofits can go in and acquire those properties, as well as maintain them so we can protect our neighborhood values. Speaking of protecting neighborhood values, one thing that is very, very important to me is home ownership for all, right? It has been a huge disparity between the races as far as what home ownership is. It is an abysmal rate, but here's just for statistics purposes. Caucasian Americans, 73% of Caucasian Americans own their home and have something to pass down to their family. So generational wealth is already established in that community. The Hispanic community is 44%, so just under half. So it's a lot lower than 73%, right? African Americans are at the very bottom of this list, and it is 42%. 42% of African Americans own their home. And it is a proven fact that wealth is built in home ownership. Home ownership, land, you have it. You cannot, if you don't have capital and you have a home, you can always borrow against the home, start a business, right? If you have an emergency, you don't have the cash, somebody needs a big surgery, you don't have the cash, but you have a home, and the home you can always borrow against, or you can use it as collateral. That's why home ownership is so important, is wealth, is long-term, and quite frankly, it is necessity for especially the communities that are lacking those percentages. I would love to see us close this gap, and it's going to take a lot of education, which I do a lot of that. Also, it's going to take a lot of effort. People actually wanting to get into home ownership, putting those frivolous things to the side to invest in their futures for themselves and their families. So with that, I want to say home ownership matters. I am a member of the NARAB, which is the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, and we have an initiative. It has put 2 million new black homeowners in homes in the next 5 years. This is a very, very difficult task, as we are still experiencing discrimination in loans, approval rates, also even in finding housing and getting us the same opportunities and tools that other counterparts have to establish home ownership. I am in this fight with you. If you have any questions about home ownership or anything like that, you can email us here at Politics with Partners, or you can email me at rtate.assured@gmail.com. And that's what's up, neighbor. Thank you again for that, Justin. The education situation is very crucial in Memphis, and we're glad that you're on the front lines and reporting the news for us.
Well, thank you, brother. I do appreciate that. And your piece on housing was very informative as well. I'm sure we get some more black buyers in and in safe homes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Now, in closing, we want to say thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a little bit longer episode because we have a lot of good stuff to give you guys. And let us know what you think about the new segments. Let us know if there are any topics that you guys want us to cover and research for you. We'll be more than happy to do any of that. So you can email us, message us, however you want. So you can smoke signal us. We'll figure it out, right? Also, our next episode will be on September 15th. Put out our advertisements in advance so you'll know that they're coming. And I think we'll do a couple of live video streams here soon so we can have some questions from you guys live and also give you guys a new environment for us here at the studios that we are very appreciative of. Thank you to Assured Real Estate Services for allowing us to use your office space as our studio space for the moment. And do you have anything you'd like to close with there, Justin?
Yeah, man, I would like to give a big thank you to our informative partners out here. Big thank you to Memphis Public Libraries for their way of sharing the candidates and how they have going up there. They have a full candidate guide available on site, so you can look at that at your convenience as well. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Stand for Children, also releasing a very informative guide, along with them Chalk Beat, Commercial Appeal, Go Vote TN, and the Shelby County Commission for giving us just bukus of political information that we look to gather you and make sure that you have what you need to be a successful and knowledgeable voter. Along with that though, a final remark on our incoming governor race. You all, education, housing, so many things that affect Shelby County will be determined by the new administration placed forth within this new governor race coming forth in November. For instance, if all things go well, the governor has the power to keep or to put away the current administration actions that we have going on within education, within housing, and so many other things, including taxes and everything of that matter surrounding that. So, you guys, please get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. And get out there and vote. Because whatever anybody says to you, no matter what they say to you, your vote matters. And that's shown with this 6% increase that we had over this last voter period. So keep doing what you have to do, you guys. Thank you again. And
I'm Rodney Tate.
And I'm Justin Brooks.
And this is
Politics with Partners.
Number 4 in the books.